Men of Reddit, what do women do that they think is okay but is actually creepy? Story 1. Not creepy, but when a woman sees a single dad with his kid and feels it's okay to tell them they're doing great. I get they may feel like they're being supportive or whatever, but the stigma behind guys not knowing how to raise a child is infuriating. I have 50-50 custody of my child and she's raised brilliantly by both me and her mom. I can guarantee mom never gets random praise just for walking through a shop with her own child. It's not supportive, it's condescending as hell, and please stop. Edit. I've seen a few comments about accepting compliments. My daughter is an absolute delight and always gets genuine compliments from passers-by. These I take with pride and a smile. The problem is from the people who approach in shock to see a dad alone with his kid and think he's either babysitting or just lost without a woman to tell him how to raise his kid and needs a patronizing pat on the back. Edit 2. Just to clarify, I always respond with a smile and thank you regardless of the way I'm approached. Not a dad, but I've thought and seen the same thing. Hey, how when a mom watches the kid, it's parenting, and when a dad does it, he's babysitting. Story 2. This might be a cultural thing for Latinos, but there were some spicy comments said by female family members to my son when he was a toddler. They would call him my boyfriend and ask for kisses in a very aggressive way. When changing his diapers, they'd stand around me and say, "Di quen SAPP," which roughly translates to, "Whose peen is that?" Which led to me always changing his diaper in a private room, even when told, "Oh, you can do it here, it's okay, we're all family." One of my aunts even commented on how his peen has grown since he was a baby. Yeah, his whole body has grown. There's no need to talk about his penis specifically. Step away from my child. I guess this is all done in a cute or innocent way, but I never liked it. Story 3. A few of my relationships have ended because my girlfriends wouldn't talk to me about an issue in our relationship, which is weird because supposedly that's a male trait. I just don't like confrontation. Well, the alternative is that I'm breaking up with you now because you've avoided talking to me about the issue for a few months when I keep trying to bring it up. So... Edit. To everyone asked how this is creepy, it's not. I wrote this on 4 hours of sleep. I thought this was just a what do girls do in relationships that's annoying. I mean, it's pretty creepy when people can't communicate, so it works in a way. Story 4. Went out with a group of guys last weekend. There were 6 of us, and this random girl started hanging around us like a lost puppy and just wouldn't leave. She was attractive, but so obviously desperate for attention that none of our group of guys really cared to give her any. This girl was just looking at everyone, batting her eyes and trying to hug everyone, but the guys were just pawning her off on each other. Not sure if this is more pathetic than creepy, but if a guy did the same thing, he'd be labeled with creepy, so yeah, she was creepy to me. I honestly thought she was a hooker or something trying to sell services or some stuff. The way she was approaching dudes, it's not freaking normal. Probably trying to get free drinks. Story 5. The way girls share really personal things about guys in relation to spicy stuff. Society and the media would have you believe that guys talk about spicy stuff all the time and just objectify the women that they've slept with. I don't know if maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong people, but honestly, the most you usually get out of a guy is just that they had spicy time with a girl. And the only time we discuss details are when we're just trading stories. But girls tend to immediately report things to their friends and share details that honestly could be embarrassing or uncomfortable for the guy. Makes me really uncomfortable and creeped out to think that if I sleep with girls, I just have to accept that all of her friends are gonna know every detail about the experience. Size, performance, how long it lasted, how I look, it just feels like a huge breach of privacy. Now that I think about it, the guys I know never even talk about that stuff either. I wonder where the rumor started that that's all guys talk about. Story 6. Being overly eager to share certain personal details with each other. Like, look at my boobs, is one noticeably bigger than the other? Also an ex who I had maintained a friendship with for a short time after the breakup. We would still talk once in a while. She called me and asked if I wanted to hang out and said, "Sure, I'm at home, come over whenever." And she replied, "Okay, I'm already outside." I didn't keep answering those calls. Also, some girls that talk like children, baby talk, and think it's cute. I'm in my 30s, and I don't want to feel like this for very long, pedophile. Thank you. You're also in your 30s and know how to speak properly. It's not cute, it's creepy. Yeah, I gotta agree with that baby voice. Are there really people out there that find that hot? Story 7. Being hypocritical about sexism. Hear about a guy hitting a girl? What an a-hole. Hear about a woman hitting a guy? Well, what did he do? Older man hitting on a much younger woman? What a creep. Older woman hitting on a much younger man? You get it, girl. Making small penis jokes? Funny. Making fat jokes about men? Funny. Making short jokes about men? Funny. Making any jokes about a woman's appearance? I've had this happen a few times, but don't know if it's more common or less common. Story 8. When I go to a bar for a drink on a Friday night, I usually go with friends. I'll head to the bathroom and sometimes the bar will be crowded, so I'll have to slip through a group of people. Several times, I'll get rubbed or caressed by women, sometimes on the groin, ew, sometimes on the chest or shoulders. It is not wanted, nor am I signaling I want to be touched. Just saying excuse me and going past. It bothers me every time. I think I'd start throwing hands, not because I meant to, but just as a normal reaction to being unwantedly touched. Story 9. Honestly, hands down, women who exploit the emotions of men. We may not all cry in the movie theater, but we're not incapable of experiencing deep, painful emotional wounds. In general, it seems to be more acceptable for women to rag on guys for our image, like our height, weight, or income, while the flip side being that men cannot criticize women without being a pig. So yeah, women who nitpick guys for superficial reasons are creepy, arrogant, and covered with more red flags than a game of Minesweeper. Story 10. Maybe not creepy, but for frick's sake, stop pulling at my beard and arm hair. Like, that stuff is seriously uncomfortable. And pulling out a beard hair stings like frick. It is literally attached to my face. You are in my personal space, tugging my hair and causing me a little pain. Ladies, I do not care how fun it is. Please stop or I'll make fun of your eyebrows. Whew, this man is not playing around. Story 11. As a gay guy, women seem to think that it's okay to touch me, in a general way, and sometimes even in a more inappropriate way. Lady, I don't know who you are. I don't care who you are. Sure, we had a nice brief conversation, but don't touch me. Don't wrap your hands around my legs so you can gawk at the size of my legs. Don't squeeze my pec or think that I want a hug despite never having met you before. I'm avoiding physical contact not only to be respectful of your boundaries, but because I also have boundaries I don't want you to violate. Consent works both ways, always. Don't touch me. Story 12. I have a friend that whenever she starts dating a guy, just lifts off things about the dudes like she's listing a resume. Never anything about the personality or sense of humor, or what characteristics about them she enjoys. It's job, career, college, earnings, house. I had to tell her it was getting creepy because it just sounds like she's getting a checklist to impress people, not find a good person for her. Story 13. Late to the party, but I haven't seen this mentioned yet. Distributing nudes that they get from guys to their friends without permission. I've caught several women doing it, and they'll argue about it if asked to stop. Yet another example of it only being an issue if the genders are reversed. That's illegal. You could press charges for that, girl or boy. Story 14. Unwanted physical contact. Was out to dinner with a bunch of friends. Coincidentally, they were all women, and the waitress was hitting on me, which involved obvious compliments, which I don't care about, and putting her hands all over my shoulders and upper chest. We all had a laugh about it after, but I was seriously weirded out by it, and were the genders reversed, I guarantee no one would have been laughing about it. Story 15. Perhaps not creepy, but I went to a metal concert to which I had planned to go alone. My girlfriend then suggested one of her female friends go with me. I was relatively indifferent and just said, yeah, as long as she likes the music, why not get to know the people you spend time with? Fast forward 1 week, during the concert my girlfriend gets jealous of the friend she herself invited to go with me, calls me constantly, asks if I made out with her friend and threatens to break up. I was hard pressed not to laugh. The plan seems to have been to send someone to keep me under her lens, which backfired on account of the next layer of her trust issues. In a way, that feels like justice. Story 16. This happened like 3 times in high school. Girls call you attractive as their way of calling you ugly, you know? Like some weird sarcasm/reverse psychology thing. One of those times, 2 girls were walking behind me in the hallway. One taps my shoulder, so I turn around and she says, "She thinks you're cute." Then the other girl says she wants to suck your peen. I just told them I have a girlfriend because 1, I do, and 2, I know what they're doing. Story 17. Setting up traps to test us. Being upset with something we did/said in your dreams. Lying to our faces when we ask direct questions like what's wrong, how are you, etc. Edit. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. Seems like I hit a few nerves with this comment, all of which have affected us in different ways. Story 18. Asking us if we want to buy them a drink. The last time I was out, a girl had asked me this and felt disrespected. She was extremely attractive, but opening up a conversation by asking if I want to buy you a drink is not appreciative. It made me feel like she thought I was a buster or something. Not all of us like to spend money on random girls just for a chance to talk to them. Story 19. Basically terrible double standards. They grab you and giggle like it's okay. Also lying by saying they have a boyfriend/husband even though you have stalked their Facebook page and know darn well they don't. Lol. Devil's advocate to the second point. A man who won't leave you alone and gets aggressive when you tell them that you're not interested. Story 20. How has nobody mentioned this? It's definitely not most women, but it does happen sometimes. Get ticked off if you're not in the mood for spicy time. Like, WTF, you're a man, you always want to have spicy time. Do you not like me anymore? No, Andrea, I was just not horny that day, and yes, I liked you a lot. Holy cow, thanks for the gold, stranger. Story 21. Not exclusively a woman thing, but my ex would screenshot our text conversations and send them to her family and friends for reaction. Like mundane conversations, not anything interesting. It felt like a very creepy violation of my privacy. Also, she was an idiot. Hope you see this, Laura. I absolutely hate when people take screenshots of our text conversations. Story 22. Tickling and getting ticked off when I don't like it. Girl, I don't like getting tickled. I really hate it. I don't care that it's some way to show affection. I don't want it. And for frick's sake, it's not my problem and I don't have to man up and take it. Story 23. Tell me that my almost 2-year-old son is so handsome and gonna break hearts/be a lady killer. If I rolled up to a park and told a mom how good looking her daughter was and that all the boys are gonna want her, they'd call the cops. Story 24. Wife bragged to friends about her spicy time life. We live in a small town, and now it feels like everywhere I go, I'm being giggled and smiled at. It is really violating. Story 25. You have to install the GPS tracking app on your phone so I know where you are anytime I want to check. That is a serious trust issue. Yes, it is annoying. Sounds pretty psycho too. Story 26. Ex demanded I take down a single picture of a platonic female friend who I've known for over a decade, and who is happily married to a mutual friend of ours. Said picture was part of a cluster of 8 total. Story 27. Touch my butt without consent. Sometimes I just perform my respiratory responsibilities and feel a slight touch to my butt, and now I'm uncomfortable and confused because I'm too scared to turn around and find out who dared touch my precious bum. Story 28. Straight girls who go to gay bars and be all like, yes, queen, ooh ooh. And straight girls who go to lesbian bars and get all offended when a girl hits on them. Edit. Thanks for the upvotes. I know what rip inbox means now, Lamau. Edit 2. I'm on Reddit. Story 29. I'd wager that most women wouldn't do this and wouldn't think it's okay. But my now ex-girlfriend went through my phone without asking for permission. In my experience, not necessarily a majority, but not unusual. Story 30. One of my high school teachers got Snapchats of the good-looking boys in her classes. She would talk to them about how her husband wasn't treating her right and how she was going to divorce him. Might have been okay if she got to be friends with all kids in her classes. Yeah, that's a lawsuit just waiting to happen. Story 31. Glamorizing the male body at work and other non-casual situations. I've had coworkers speculating about the size of other coworkers' genitals in front of me, talking about nude scenes of favorite actors, talking about marital aids, etc. If a guy was similarly casual about spicy time, it would be considered highly inappropriate. But women seem to get away with it as innocent fun. You should join in. Yeah, big peen, but I bet Jeff has a really dirty bumhole. Story 32. Perving on men. So many times in the workplace, I have heard women say that they would like to do a certain man, almost drooling in public. If a man said the same comments, they would be fired. Story 33. Thinking it's okay to hug at the workplace or touch your arm/leg when talking, then getting upset when some poor schmo thinks that you're interested in them. How about no one touching each other at work? Story 34. Always asking if I got flirted with, no matter where I go. Did anyone flirt with you? What the hell, it's flag football. I mean, a valid question there. Flag football is known to get pretty steamy. Story 34. Ask their friends to give them explicit details of their spicy encounters, especially if it's with a boyfriend. Story 36. When women say things like, if I were 10 years younger about underage boys, it's creepy, gives off pedo vibes, and if the genders were reversed, you'd call the FBI. Story 37. This is only really for gay men out there, but having a girl instantly label you as her gay best friend as soon as she finds out you're gay. Like, girl, I don't even know you. Story 38. Ching me when you're a complete stranger. I'm in really good shape, and the amount of women who would touch my arm, shoulder, and chest when I'm out was too high. Story 39. My best friend's psychopath forced him to destroy his iPhone 7 because she found texts he sent to another student in his class about the subject material. Story 40. Hit me up when you're 18. 2 young guy models and whatnot on social media. Any guy would be torn a new butthole if you were to say that, and it's totally acceptable from women. Story 41. I'm an attractive guy. I was a bartender and served tables for quite a while. The stuff women say and get away with saying, it is unreal. Women are just as bad as men when it comes to harassment. Story 42. Here's another one. Forcing your husband/significant other to have a shared Facebook profile with you. We all know that means they've cheated, Susan. Either forgive him or dump him and move on. Don't have a grown man tethered to your front porch like some insecure so. You should both be embarrassed. Oh my god, are shared Facebook profiles really a thing? Story 43. Catcalling. It's creepy and unsettling, albeit usually flattering as well for men as it is for women. In that same vein, anything women think is creepy when done to them is probably creepy if done to men too. Story 44. Assume our money is now their money. I ain't saying she a gold digger, but if you marry her, she'll wait for you to die so she can inherit all your hard-earned wealth. Story 45. You break up a relationship and her friends proceed to come after you like angry mobs for it. Story 46. Speak possessively about your male friends and claim men that you see, most often when they think men can't hear. Story 47. Unpopular opinion. Identify themselves as a single mother. Finally someone said it. Story 48. Also hitting a guy and then behaving like a toxic feminist extremist when he hits you back. Story 49. Women invade men's personal space but then proceed to freak out when men invade theirs. Story 50. Getting free drinks from guys in which they have admittedly zero interest in getting to know. Also kush crabs. Story 51. I don't know if it's just me, but the baby voice plus behavior really puts me off. Story 52. Going to pride events/gay bars and groping the men whether they like it or not. Like frick off. Story 53. Meeting a fake Instagram user with her group of friends and stalking guys through it. Story 54. Pulling up the hem of your kilt to see if you're a true Scotsman. Story 55. Man, y'all are in some unhealthy relationships. Yeah, some of these are pretty shocking. Story 56. Social media stalking is a little crazy, especially from stuff before I met you. Story 57. Making a new social media account after I block you. Story 58. When she wants to know my Reddit username. Completely unhealthy. Story 59. Pretending you're dumber or more incompetent than you really are for some reason. Story 60. Getting pregnant on purpose to trap the guy into either marriage or 18 years of paycheck. Story 61. Had an ex that used to take pictures of me when I sleep because I looked cute. I don't care if I looked freaking cute. Story 62. Developing feelings to justify bad behavior or poor conduct. Story 63. You know what you don't like men doing? Story 64. Double standard on harassment. Story 65. Asking password to social accounts or phone. Story 66. Being way too open about their spicy life. Story 67. Disregard consent with gay male friends. Story 68. Women that call you daddy. WTF, mate. Story 69. Preparing dubious elixirs and potions in an old cottage in the forest. God, I just absolutely hate this. I'm so glad someone else can relate. Story 70. Talk like a child. Story 71. Flirting with me like. Story 72. Stalking on social media. Story 73. Hair spiders on the shower walls. Story 74. Interrogation. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more videos to come, or else this spider will be in your bed tonight.